Crucial 13, you are appreciated. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at this. This is the city I'm in right now. All right. We're about to go into a couple things about Elon Musk that are just very strange. And I do like some stuff that he does. But we definitely got to look at some of this. And definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Especially if you got some information regarding any of this Ocean Gate and all that other type of stuff. But real quick, we're going to go through this subpoena he got, which regarded the JP Morgan Bank and the Epstein trafficking ties. And then we're going to look at some things about his mother. And we're going to play a clip but from somebody who claims to have known his mother in the past and talking about the a whole bunch of craziness, man. Just stay tuned. Let's get into it. So before we get into these clips, and you're going to want to stick around for that, let's just check out this subpoena real quick. It says, a federal judge ruled Wednesday that the U.S. Virgin Islands can serve a subpoena for Elon Musk to his electric car company Tesla as part of the government's lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase over the bank's ties to dead trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. The ruling came days after lawyers for the U.S. VI government told Judge Jed Rakoff they had been able to serve the Tesla CEO personally with the subpoena demanding documents related to Epstein and JP Morgan. The Virgin Islands is suing JP Morgan and U.S. District Court in Manhattan for allegedly enabling and financially benefiting from Epstein's trafficking of young women. The late financier and sex criminal had been a customer of the bank from 1998 through 2013. JP Morgan denies any wrongdoing. On April 28th, the USVI issued a subpoena to Musk because of the suspicion that Epstein may have referred or attempted to refer Musk as a client to JP Morgan, according to a court filing Monday. The subpoena demands that Musk turn over any documents showing communication involving him, JP Morgan, and Epstein, as well as all documents reflecting or regarding Epstein's involvement in human trafficking or his procurement of girls or women for consensual sex. Musk didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Now, this is interesting. The USVI also issued similar subpoenas for documents related to Epstein and JP Morgan to Google co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, former Disney executive Michael Ovitz, Hyatt Hotels executive chairman Thomas Pritzker, and Mort Zuckerman, the billionaire real estate investor. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon is scheduled to be deposed on May 26 for the lawsuit and for a related suit against the bank by a woman who says Epstein abused her. And then Musk did respond in a tweet. Monday night had blasted the idea of that he be given a subpoena in the case. He said, "This is idiotic on so many levels," Musk wrote on Twitter, which he bought and took private last year. "That cretin never advised me on anything whatsoever," he wrote, referring to Epstein. "The notion that I would need or listen to financial advice from a dumb crook is absurd," he added. JPM let Tesla down 10 years ago, despite having Tesla's global commercial banking business, which we then withdrew. I have never forgiven them. Then here it says, in 2018, Epstein told the New York Times he had been advising Musk after Securities and Exchange Commission opened a probe into Musk's comments about taking Tesla private. A Tesla spokesperson told the Times it is incorrect to say that Epstein ever advised Elon on anything. Now, people know about this picture with him and Ghislaine Maxwell, which, to be fair to him, just because you were at social events with these type of people and, in passing have, dealt with some of these people, it doesn't really mean that, oh, you're just partaking in all their shit. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of celebrities done passed a lot of people and took pictures with them and found out later these are murderers. Like Mike Tyson said, if you check out a blog I did about Mike Tyson recently, he's actually spoke about this when he was up there with Patrick Bet-David. But here it says, Musk in July 2020 replied to a Twitter post that showed him posing for a photo next to a smiling Maxwell. He said, I don't know Jelaine at all. She photobombed me once at a Vanity Fair party several years ago. Real question is why Vanity Fair invited her in the first place. Then it says the New York Times in a 2022 article detailing that photo reported that a Vanity Fair staff member who had stood next to both Maxwell and Musk at the party said that the pair chatted. Miss Maxwell asked Mr. Musk if there were a way to remove oneself from the internet and encourage Mr. Musk to destroy the internet. Mr. Musk demurred. The Times reported, citing the staffer who shared contemporaneous notes of the encounter. I don't know that word. But now, amidst all this email deletion at JP Morgan, the funniest thing to me is why all this is like breaking news and everything. A lot of people were trying to cover it up, and I noticed Elon Musk announces this fake fight between him and Mark Zuckerberg, which took the steam off anything relating to that OceanGate, JP Morgan, Epstein connection. And then it so happens that Elon Musk's mother, MAYE Musk, said the fight is canceled now. And she's got a hell of a history, which we're about to take a look at now. But you know, let's just check out a couple things.
Have you ever seen Elon Musk's full profile picture? That's Baphomet with an inverted cross right on his chest, which is the official symbol of the Church of Satan, and he paid $7,500 for this.
Now, he had that outfit at one of these Halloween parties in Hollywood. You know, Heidi Klum, I don't know her last name, but I guess she's popular for doing this. And now, as you see right here, they're saying her names were on these flight logs and stuff. And he's at her, and she ended up turning off all her comments because people were giving her shit about it, I guess. And he's at her party dressed with this Baphomet costume on. You know what I mean? And he's very liberal as well. So I was like, to see how he came in on Twitter and pretty much did what he did with Twitter, I was like, hold up, this is cool and everything, but there's some hammer gonna be dropped pretty soon. And as you can tell by some of her Instagram pictures, she's into some, I don't know, you ever seen the movie The Craft? Crafty shit.
And there you can see his mom right next to him, and if you look up his mom, you can see her doing the Illuminati sign everywhere and all this kind of demonic symbolism. And then he tweets this meme out saying, people always ask where is Illuminati, but they never ask how is Illuminati. And apparently if you put a ring of salt around a Tesla, it gets trapped and you can't drive it. Isn't that what you do for satanic rituals? And now Elon's trying to get the FDA approvals to test his Neuralink into humans. Literally a chip that you plant in your brain and you can download information in your own head, like learning new languages. But I mean, listen to what Elon himself says about AI.
Artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
Now right here on Reddit, in this conspiracy sub, which I used to be heavy into, but you know, they got nothing but agents in there and they banned all my accounts, so here goes, somebody right here says, his name is OK Magician 1194, you know, shout out. Elon Musk is the grandson of Joshua Haldeman, which is his mom's maiden name, leader of Technocracy, Inc., backed by the Rockefellers and the Masons. Elon's mother, May Haldeman Musk, is a CIA OTO practicing witch, indicated by the Illuminati eye symbolism, her connections to Charles Manson, and her support to Ukraine. For Ukraine, Nazi Soros. Right here in her tweets, you can see she's adding SpaceX at Elon Musk, hashtag Starlink, hashtag Ukraine. Okay, so this whole Ukraine thing, I've made a video tying in the Ukraine thing with the OceanGate, with harvesting, traffic, you know, all that type of stuff. You know, that they kind of had a fit over that video, but here she is, stop the war, stand with Ukraine. You know, she's one of those. Okay. You know, that whole Ukraine thing, that goes just deep with this whole JP Morgan, Chase Bank emails and everything, the Democrat, it goes deep with this. Now, here goes somebody saying, meet Elon Musk's grandfather and thank him for his contribution to the Great Reset. And search results bring up Klaus Schwab, technocratic dictatorial rule by a tiny elite. Modern globalization started with the formation of the Trilateral Commission in 1973, funded by David Rockefeller and somebody whose name I'm not even gonna fucking try to say. That guy promoted technocracy through what he called the technotronic era, They fed this to the United Nations, the global corporate world, and especially to emerging nation states such as China. Elon Musk, the modern torchbearer for historic technocracy. As the richest person on planet Earth, Elon Musk is increasingly recognized as the driver of modern technocracy. His grandfather was head of the Technocracy Inc. movement in Canada during the 1930s and 40s. Now let me show y'all this video from a channel called Shalom Girl, that she is saying she came up under this woman, Elon Musk's mother. And a lot of it is very strange. Like, you know, she's involved in the Mansons and a whole bunch of crazy shit. Let's just get into it.
This is Shalom Girl on YouTube. I want to talk to you a minute about MAYE Musk. When I was a young girl, I was procured to her. I've been telling you about that. She called herself Light. And it was in 1978 that I first remember her, although she was at my birth and named me Rosemary. I'm starting to uncover what I believe is a CIA connection, because her father was alive and well after his reported death in 1974, because I knew him and I worked for him. He paid me. Her father was alive and well, Dr. Joshua Norman Haldeman. And I believe he was, well, because my aunt said he was brought over here and worked for us now. And I know that he was kicked out of Canada for treason, for being a technocrat leader. Haldeman did in fact work for us, at least I was told that. And he was alive and well and up to no good on Penny Lane, working with head mental hospital doctors at the Imola State Mental Hospital. And Dr. Haldeman was working in Silicon Valley, and I think I heard Stanford and Davis in there, UC Davis. And they sent me over to the Yountville, California Veterans Hospital as well to work. That doesn't make any sense. I was a minor and I wasn't a veteran, so work? These words, they never hooked me up to any electronics. They didn't do that. I was house girl, and they sent me to be a house girl for other doctors, like the head of the mental hospital in Napa. We lived right next door to him, and she lived across the street from him. But I'm finding connections that would lead me to believe that MAYE Musk is a CIA asset, because her father in his Silicon Valley, and he was working on brain chips, lasers, robots, weather, everything, up to no good, faked his death, got away with it, ran around America. And then MAYE Musk called herself Light, and she was working with my mother, who was head madam of San Francisco, Madame Claire. Claire means light in French. My mother, head madam Claire, San Francisco, California, USA. So there's 3 generations of them. With MAYE Musk's father, I find an Operation Paperclip connection. The time, the place, the words, everything lined up. When there was a situation that arose in a fist fight with my grandfather, the explanation was, he works for Haldeman, works for us now. So there's the time and the place, the locations, the words all fit. So her father, like an Operation Paperclip Nazi, and then she was taking van loads of televisions to Charlie Manson and creating prisoner armies and buying future chaos. When I asked for an explanation, I was told she was buying future chaos for the agenda. And I was told that Elon would lead the Great Deception. As a child, I didn't know what that was. I didn't even ask. I was like, wow, whatever that is, right? But it was bad. And so MAYE Musk was working with, well, military. She was working with the hippies. No, her father was working with the military and the labs. My grandfather showed up, recognized him, beat his ass down on Penny Lane. I told you about that in another story. And MAYE Musk, yeah, in 1978, when the program, the MK Ultra CIA Operation Climax, was supposed to end in San Francisco, I believe they took people in his house girls because they had my grandmother working as a maid in Pacifica, California, at some of their elite locations, and they used to bring me as a child and do stuff I can't even talk about yet. And then there was Nazi insurgents and other men in black. The Pacifica Castle in California, Sam's Castle. But MAYE Musk, she was arrested in the Manson roundup, in the Charlie Manson arrest. And look again at that murder. Sharon Tate was there, Rosemary LaBlanca. It was not an accident that they went to that house. That was not an accident once upon a time in Hollywood. I think they were brainwashed and programmed to do that. Anyway, MAYE Musk was arrested in that Manson roundup because my aunt had the Helter Skelter book, and it was the very first original copy. And MAYE Musk was in there and mentioned as a 13-year-old Canadian runaway. Well, it said she was 13, but she was lying. She was really approximately 23 at the time. And she was released. And that's suspicious right there. But her father was, in fact, a doctor and an official and could do what he wanted to do to pick her back up. So he was creating chaos with the Nazis. He came over here to America from Canada and Africa. She came from Africa, to my memory, in 1978 and was living on Penny Lane and buying off prisoners with televisions, creating future armies for the chaos they were creating. This is very hard for me because, you know, in the Bible where Moses is raised in Pharaoh's household, he grows a conscience, runs away, and 40 years later he comes back to face them. And I feel just like that because it's actually been 40 years for me too. 40 feels like a number, a time of waiting. Haldeman always paid me in $40 increments as well. That's pretty strange. 40 feels like waiting. Anyway, here we are 40 years later, and I see Elon and MAYE Musk in the news. She was set up to be my hero. She was beautiful and dangerous and unattainable, like my mother. She reminded me of my mother, and I had a strange affiliation for her, a strange fondness. I always wanted to go over and see her. My aunt would always tell me, don't bug light. And don't piss off the Bilderbergs. Yeah, when I wanted to quit, after Elon opened a gateway to the abyss and attempted to ask me to come play with his friends, but they were going to devour me, I said I wanted to quit to my aunt, and she said, don't piss off the Bilderbergs. They're the Illuminati. Would you rather be the babysitter on Penny Lane or one of their experiments over at the nut house? Well, I said I'd rather be the babysitter. Jesus saved me from that life. It's been so strange, but now that these people are in the news, it's starting to make sense. The Great Deception is here. Look at how beautiful they are, and the whole world wanders after Elon. Everybody wants to be him. He's on the Rogan show smoking a blunt in his Hogan's Heroes bomber jacket. It's all a trick of smoke and mirrors, y'all.
Alright, and I am definitely doing a deeper dive on this, so we will be doing a follow-up as it all will tie into like the whole Ocean Gate and all that, because this story of him fighting Mark Zuckerberg just happens to come when this story breaks, like the emails and everything. I don't know, that's just weird. It's weird to me. But again, you know, just because people come from past like this with this demonic and all that other type of stuff, a lot of families' lineage got this type of shit. But just because you come from this, even if you used to dabble in the lifestyle, doesn't mean you can't change and come to the light. So don't condemn everybody that's doing good now just because they got a past, because everybody got a past. You got a past, okay? So make sure y'all got discernment, man. Keep raising your frequency. Keep helping to raise the collective vibration on the planet by, you know, doing good and outweighing your bad, all that other type of good stuff. And definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Anybody got anything interesting to add to this or, you know, whatever, please leave a comment. So let me know what y'all think. I ain't woke, I'm up.
Crucial 13, you all appreciated. Shout out to you.
get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this.
Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.